Pelican getting the first pick. Oh, get three, Pyro, get three with the
Blade Kick putting on a clinic. Whole team's down. Oh!
Experience tranquility.
Good evening, Overwatch fans. Welcome to Week 3 of the Overwatch Tranquility Season 7 regular season. Today, we are thrilled to bring you this week's Harmony Tier feature match, which is shaping up to be a true airborne battle as the Sky Guardians take on Squall. My name is HPPal64, and I'll be your play-by-play caster today, and I'm joined here by Mr. Cyberwave background Apathy on the color cast. And Apathy, this is going to be one heck of a battle between these two teams.
I agree. We've got a lot of Trank veterans on both of these teams, but they're playing under sort of new logos or new brandings. Squall came out of Maelstrom when Maelstrom moved up to the Discord tier, and Sky Guardians were kind of a conglomeration. They still have a couple players from JPC, but then formed under the Battalion org. So
Yep,
a lot of old faces, new logos.
Absolutely. New logos, old faces. We love to see these sort of reoccurring community members here in Overwatch Tranquility, and that is no exception here with Sky Guardians and Squall. Squall, obviously, from the Maelstrom org, and Sky Guardians being brought up from a lot of different players, from JPC to Void to even Ultraviolet from last season. So there are some new names here and there, but regardless, we're getting ready to see a very intense match. Now, when it comes to these two teams, they really have not had the best starts. Squall, obviously, has not won a single map all season. They've played against Strix and the reigning champs, the Koala Kings, and have gone 0-2, 0-4 in both matches. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Sky Guardians, they had a rough start by getting reverse swept by Chrysalis, but ended up taking the win last week against Strix. So, who has the best chance here of getting the win?
So to me, Sky Guardians is a little inconsistent. So I think they're really looking for a statement 4-0 here, to kind of prove that they have that consistency and to help their map record while they're fighting for second place in their pool. Whereas Squall, just looking to take a map or two would be a pretty good victory for them. But unfortunately, I think it's a pretty uphill climb for Squall to win the match overall.
Absolutely, and we'll have to see what happens as we're about to head here into our first map of the series. Of course, every week we start with a different control map. This week, it is Oasis that is the control map. We're going to be starting off on this map first, and we'll see what goes out of here. Oasis is a very interesting map because it really does not attend to one style for all 3 points. You really have to be adaptive if you're going to get the victory on Oasis, unless you get lucky.
Yeah, the only thing that isn't really run here much is Orisa comps. We're starting out on City Center, so you could see things like the Rush. We could see a Pharmacy comp. I'm interested to see what both teams are going to bring out here.
It's definitely going to be interesting to see what both teams bring out. It's worth noting, Maelstrom do indeed have one of their star DPS players, Appa, was in contention for Most Improved in Season 6. Mainly known as a Junkrat ace, but it looks like as of right now in the spawn room, Appa is showing the Pharah, which most likely means that they're going to be coming out on the Pharah here. And, yep, it looks like Squall is going to be coming out here with this Pharah composition. But Sky Guardians look like they're going to be going for more of a sort of divey style with this Ball Tracer Soldier. Interesting for the DPS comp there.
I like the Soldier pick on City Center. The high ground is pretty good for him to spam, and I'm assuming they're expecting a Pharah.
Yep, absolutely. As the gates are open now, you do see Sky Guardians trying to make their way to the point. You do see the Pasty looking for a sort of opportunity to try and get the dive off, but Appa almost finds him and barely is able to get a little bit of damage onto him, as Appa is now skybound right now, trying to pump out as much damage as possible onto that Pharah, while the Tracer is wreaking havoc in the back line. Appa trying to put the brackets there into Bubba Wyatt on the Diva as the soldier, ooh, is able to take out Witchery. That's huge. The support player for Appa no longer there, as now it looks like it's going to be very easy here for Sky Guardians to be able to try and deal with this Pharah counter. Ooh, brings Appa extremely low, but is unable to get the finishing blow as Dire Raven now dies at the hands of C-Town for Vidya, but Ooh is able to knock out Appa. Now it's pretty much one here for Sky Guardians, as it looks like they're going to be getting the first cap. 7% ticking up, but Squall are still in this fight.
Yeah, they can stall it out. They've got both tanks alive. Looks like both teams are going to reset and push back in here with a window.
Yep, the window coming out here from Chaplin on that Baptiste as he's trying to put as much damage as possible into the enemy team, as now Maelstrom Squall, excuse me, trying to put as much pressure as they can on this point. And Pasty goes very low on that Wrecking Ball. Same with Bubba White on the Diva, but no kills being able to finish off until Kaz has anything to say with it. Pasty is now finished off as the Pulse Bomb comes out, but it's a miss. Ooh ends up falling to the hands of C-Town for Vidya, and now Appa on this Pharah doing as much value as he can to try and clean up the rest of the Sky Guardians. Milo unable to get any sort of kill onto Appa there, as this looks like it's going to be a one fight here for Squall, and 43% of the point for Sky Guardians. Squall is going to take control.
Yeah, I think the Sky Guardians tanks kind of overstayed their welcome. We're right in between that Orisa and Sigma, just eating loads of damage and weren't able to back out in time to recuperate. The big question is here is, where is Squall going to set up their double shield? Because on this circular point, it can be very easy to get flankers off and surround them from all angles.
Speaking of flankers, Pasty obviously looking for an opportunity, waiting for the rest of his team to get set up so that he can initiate with these minefield dive. Appa, however, has the barrage, so he'll be able to ruin everything. And the tack visor comes out, and Ooh finds two. Appa and Witchery are down to the hands of Ooh's tack visor, and now already Sky Guardians have an advantage in this fight. Only one ult used. Athena is able to pull out the rally, however. Maelstrom's or Squall look like they're going to fall to the end here. Sky Guardians clean up the rest of the point, and Squall are sent back to spawn. 45% here for Squall. And the flip goes over to Sky Guardians.
Now here's where it gets hard for me, because it can be really tough to push into these chokes running double shield. Now that they've, been team wiped and they have to reset from scratch, it's gonna be tough. They do have the Bongo and the Flux to do so. Maybe they could pair like Bongo with Barrage, get an early pick on the Soldier Zen or something like that. Let's see how they want to take this fight.
Yeah, most likely they want to try to combine some of these ults in order to get the best value. Kaz already trying to pressure Ooh on the high ground, and Ooh gets killed by C-Town. A huge pick there, but Bubba Wyatt goes right back in, and Kaz ends up dying to the hands of Bubba Wyatt. Appa's able to get Athena and gets rezzed up after Dire Raven killed him, but Dire Raven trying to get as much damage as possible on that Zenyatta, trying to do all the damage here. Milo's able to get Chaplain, and Milo does die to the hands of C-Town for Vidya. It's still a hold here for the Sky Guardians. They still have control at this point, despite the fact that Squall is pushing in. Ooh is now able to kill Appa, and now it's winnable here for the Sky Guardians. The Flux only gets Bubba White on the Diva. He's able to defense matrix any of the ores, but ends up losing the mech. Using the bomb as a self-defense strategy is El Toasty extremely low on that Sigma. Now Stagger picks are starting to come in. Chaplin is switched over to the Lucio. Witchery on that Valkyrie Mercy, but El Toasty starting to get pressured out by the rest of the enemy team. Sky Guardians trying to get any sort of momentum here, and they're able to get two picks on the Kaz and El Toasty. Now you see C-Town for Vidya trying to stall out that point on the Wrecking Ball as the Pharah of Appa is being able to do as much damage, but it's not enough. Ooh is able to eliminate Appa once again. Witchery now with no mercy pocket there. She ends up getting eliminated, and it looks like you're going to be seeing Sky Guardians being able to take this point as attack visor from Ooh to try and clean things up. The ball C-Town for Vidya just barely able to do enough, but ends up getting eliminated by Pasty, and just like that, Sky Guardians take the first point.
Yeah, the trouble with the comp that the Sky Guardians are running is it doesn't really matter how many entry picks you get. You kind of got to get at least 4 or 5 or 6 to win the fight, because they can all come back and stall things out so quickly. Sky Guardians with an excellent disengage there, waited for their respawn timers, and then went back in with ults and were able to clean that fight up.
Yeah, great move by Sky Guardians, just taking it patient. That's the goal of this comp. Take it patient, try to stall it out as much as possible, and then get the advantage. Now, we head over to Oasis University, which is mainly the brawl map when it comes to this, and we see no exception here. El Toasty and C-Town have switched over to that Ryan Winston. Meanwhile, on the side of Sky Guardians, they are going to be pulling out the Ryan Diva. The Sim May, most likely that Sim is going to be replaced with a Reaper or a McCree, but we'll see. No, they're sticking with the Sim. Milo is going to be sticking on the Symmetra, so definitely an interesting move here from the side of Sky Guardians, but they're going to be able to take control of that right room. Meanwhile, Squall, they're running a dot comp again. They're running the Winston Diva, this time with the Reaper Pharah, so no hit scan on the side, but it's not going to work unless C-Town for Vidya is able to stay alive. Bubba Wyatt is able to eliminate C-Town, and now Squall, without their main tank, they have to wait a bit in order to get this push in, unless Dire Raven dies. Kaz with a huge pick there onto the Baptiste for the side of the Sky Guardians. Kaz unable to teleport out, however, and it looks like the Guardians might be able to take control of this point first, but Appa hitting rockets from behind might be able to do any sort of damage he can. Appa's able to get Milo. Witchery, however, falls in the hands of Bubba White, and now Toasty is booped off the map! Athena, what a huge play there on the Lucio, and Sky Guardians will take the first control, but Squall are still stuck here at the entrance, and it looks like they're going to be able to push in again.
Yeah, Squall are going to be able to retake this. It's the same kind of thing. They've got the Monkey Diva. Pretty easy to come back and contest on such a small map. We'll see how good the Sky Guardians disengage here is, because they can still come back in, wait for their respawns as well while contesting this point.
Yeah, it looks like the Sky Guardians, once again, they're trying to play this as slow as possible. Stall out the timer as long as they can, so the Squall does not have a long timing. The Shatter comes out from Pasty and is able to get two. C-Town for Vidya and Kaz knocked to the floor. Kaz has the dying to the charge, and the window comes out now from Dire Raven. That's both support L2s simultaneously as C-Town for Vidya knocks out Dire Raven, but it's not enough to stop the push. Sky Guardians win the fight, 36% and counting here for the Guardians, as Squall are sent back to the drawing board.
That was some excellent peel from Bubba Wyatt. He was taking care of the Pharah, the Reaper, and the Monkey, all at once, pretty much. You know, zipping around the map, peeling for his Rhine, his Baptiste. That was some excellent Diva play there. Squall is choosing to stick on this comp, which is going to be difficult. Maybe they could switch after they use these ults here.
The bomb comes out, it gets absolutely nothing, but it does waste that wall cooldown from Ooh. El Toasty, is he looking for a remake kill? Almost gets it onto the Raven, but the Kaz gets a 2K with the Blossom. Appa's able to get Dire Raven with the Barrage, and now Squall are able to use those two ults to their advantage, and it looks like they're going to be able to win this team fight cleanly. Only Bubba Wyatt is left here on the point on that Diva. Not even going to invest the self-destruct, as 80% is going to be on the board here for the Sky Guardians, with Squall capping.
If that was a coordinated play, kudos to Squall. The way the baby Diva just ran at six people and had them respect the remake, they were all looking at her and they did not see the Pharah come from above. I don't know if that was a step play, yeah, but that was pretty interesting, I gotta say.
Definitely a very interesting play there from Squall, but now you do see that Sky Guardians is trying to push in. Kaz is in the backline, however. It looks like he's going to try to get the pick, and he does! Dire Raven gets dive on immediately by C-Town, and Kaz is able to finish off the kill. That's already both heals down for Sky Guardians as Athena dies to the hands of C-Town. El Toasty gets sent back to spawn as he dies to Bubba Wyatt's bomb. Appa's able to pick off Milo, though, and Squall are going to continue holding this. 35% now on the board for them as Bubba Wyatt is once again the last man standing in this fight, trying to chase down Appa on that Pharah. But it looks like he's going to be able to get out with his life and be able to recontest this. Appa comes out with the barrage, is able to get Athena, but not much else. Bubba Wyatt able to eat that entire thing up. Appa trying to pump down as much damage as Dire Raven's dead to C-Town. That's the second time in a row that both supports for Sky Guardians have fallen first.
Yeah, and the thing is that they're staying in these fights after losing someone, and they're getting baited. They're using ultimates in these lost fights because they're trading picks, but a pick on their comp hurts a lot more than a pick on the Squall comp. They'll have to save up their ults. Maybe they can hit a fat Shatter here. Wait out this Cole and go for a play.
Speaking of ults, there's the big Shatter coming out from Pasty. It's able to cancel the Cole Essence, but Pasty dies for it. Appa is able to eliminate him. Milo gets the kill onto Appa and Witchery, however. So it's even here on the side of on both sides. Milo unable to kill El Toasty on that Diva, but now it's Kaz and Ooh doing a 1v1. Dire Raven decides to interrupt that 1v1, unfortunately, so it's not a fair game. El Toasty now trying to stall out the point as much as he can. 79% looks like he's going to be taken here for the Sky Guardians, but Appa's back in the fight with Witchery. It's still winnable here for Squall. The window comes out from Dire Raven. It's able to do a lot of damage, and C-Town ends up dying. Now it looks like the Sky Guardians are going to flip 99% on the side for Squall as Kaz once again stuck on the wrong side of history, barely able to escape Pasty's charge as now Squall are sent to reconfigurate.
Squall are still in a good position here. They've got some pretty strong ultimates. Athena has Death Blossom, but Death Blossom is not always super consistent for blocking. Or Beat is not always super consistent for blocking Death Blossom.
C-Town jumps in immediately, and the Death Blossom is eaten up by Bubba Wyatt on the Diva. C-Town ends up dying, and that Blossom from Kaz gets nothing. The bomb comes out from Bubba Wyatt. It gets two! Dire Raven dies to El Toasty's bomb, but it does not matter, as the entire team of Squall is not even seen, as Sky Guardians will take map 1. But there is opposition here from Squall. This could result in Squall taking a map.
Yeah, this was a pretty close map. Squall put up a good fight. Their comps were a little weird, but they knew what their strengths were, and they played to them. Unfortunately, in those last fights, Bubba Wyatt with the Cone of Silence and the bigger bomb won that map for them, but that one really could have gone either way.
Absolutely, Bubba Wyatt. It's always the silent plays that get the most amount of value, and Bubba Wyatt showing that you don't have to always be flashy to really be a huge impact. And yet we do see that play of the game from Dire Raven on that Zenyatta. Really good job on the support play, but regardless, really good performance there from Sky Guardians. They look like they're in the advantage in this fight, but Squall are showing that they have opposition. This is not going to be a one-sided affair. We could see Squall take their first map of the season here.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know how much Farah U plays. I know he's kind of memed on as a Hanzo one trick. I'm curious to see if they ever mirror the pharmacy for this map. I mean, they are the Sky Guardians. You'd think thematically they'd force him to learn Farah, right?
Yeah, I mean, the Sky Guardians, you need to play all the airborne heroes. If you're not playing all the airborne heroes, you're throwing.
Exactly.
So that's definitely something. It's surprising. We see more Farah out of Squall compared to the Sky Guardians, but regardless, we're going to be heading into our second map here. Of course, it is Squall's choice, and they have chosen Hanamura for their map, and they've also made a swap. Impulse is coming in for Kaz. Obviously, this is one of their many DPS swaps that they can use, so that's going to be their main gimmick here. What is the move here with Impulse being in the roster?
I'm not sure how they differ hero pool wise. I believe Impulse plays maybe a little bit of like the Soldier Tracer McCree, whereas I think Kaz is most comfortable on the Reaper, if I'm remembering correctly from the previous 2 seasons. I have not seen Impulse play. He's a Trank veteran. He was in like seasons 1 and 2, and then he took a big break. I believe this is his first season back in a while. But I think the Hanamura pick lends itself to some sort of Symmetra teleport brawl, especially for the attack. But Pharmacy is actually a pretty viable counter to that on the defense. So perhaps that's why Squall took this as their map pick.
Yep, and also we have a swap here on the side of Sky Guardians as well that I did not notice. Pasty is coming in for Bubba Wyatt. Such good performance from Bubba Wyatt's Diva, and now he's being subbed out. This is obviously some sort of strategy, I would assume.
Yeah, it's actually Love Bree coming in, the flex player. Yeah, she flexes between off tank and main support, so yeah, coming in for the off tank. I believe she plays pretty much the same character, so.
Yep, so it looks like right now, we are going to see Sky Guardians here on the defense, and they're coming out with the Orisa Sigma composition. We didn't see them running Orisa as much in that first map, but obviously it had to be for special reasons. But now Lovebury coming in here on that Sigma. Most likely this is why they subbed out Bubba Wyatt. Maybe Bubba Wyatt doesn't have as strong as a Sigma, or maybe there's a future plan that they plan to use later. Maybe double main tank on the attack. We'll have to see. On the side of Squall, however, I don't think they stick with this. I mean, Ryan Sig is not really impactful, but what are your thoughts on it?
Ryan Sig can work. I think they're going to hopefully look at Sky Guardian's comp and realize that they're going to need a Diva. The Sombra pick is really what's interesting to me. They're going to choose to just manually push this choke without a Symmetra.
No, what they're going to do is Impulse is going to scout. Impulse is going to scout, and then he's going to decide what. Now they're going to be able to decide what to do, and it looks like Impulse is going to be switching to the Sim. Yep, they're just going to stay pretty straight to the point. This is exactly what we expect here on Hanamura. But now, keep note of this. Appa on his signature hero, Junkrat. Junkrat is one of Appa's best heroes in Overwatch Tranquility. He's a mastermind on it, and he can pull things that not many Junkrat players can pull off. As we see Squall going over to the point. Pacey's able to contest it, however, and is able to get Witchery. Appa ends up falling into the hands of, I talked about him so much, I caster cursed it, but now Squall, they're on the receiving end of a possible hold here from the Sky Guardians, and Pacey gets 2 with that Orisa, and the cleanup is there. Squall sent back to spawn as Sky Guardians keep a hold.
Yeah, unfortunately, no matter how good you are at Junkrat, there's kind of the natural food chain is that Farah eats Junkrat. So he's going to stick to it. Emperor switching over to the Soldier. The Symmetra has obviously lost its surprise appeal. They're going to try and pick this Farah off before they push through the choke, it looks like.
It looks like so. But the question is where they try to push. Okay, they look like they're going to the left side here. Witchery ends up getting caught out, however. That could be devastating, but C-Town for Vidia, huge shield there, being able to keep alive Lucio, but a hop and a high. Is able to eliminate Chaplin, and now there's only one support for the side of Squall again. Now it looks like they're trying to push in, but Appa ends up dying to Ooh as well. This Pharah from Ooh has been absolutely devastating. Is he going for the barrage? Maybe not. It looks like it's already won. Witchery falls, and Ooh making a statement, booping off El Toasty into the pit. C-Town brings himself to his own demise as Squall are sent back to spawn once again. 2 minutes on the clock for them, and they've got no results thus far.
Yeah, even though that halt didn't actually result in a kill, it slowed down the Squall quite a significant amount, and that ended up giving the Pharah a lot more space, a lot more splash, and eventually the damage just became too overwhelming. They're gonna mirror their own Pharah without a Mercy.
Yep, Appa switching over to the Pharah now. No Mercy in play, so it's interesting. They want to try to keep this smooth, but Milo already picks up Appa. Who needs a Mercy pocket when you're just Milo on the Ash? And now it looks like you're going to be seeing Squall. They're still trying to invest in this. Impulse is starting to push forward, but here comes Ooh with that barrage, trying to eliminate Impulse, but Milo gets the job done. Ooh is able to eliminate Chaplin, and once again, Squall are resetting. 1 minute and 30 seconds on the clock. They don't have a lot of time left, Apathy. They might not be able to finish the map.
No, they do not. They've only built one ult so far, the Baptiste window, and I don't know how much that's going to help them compared to the daunting task of 6 ults on the side of Sky Guardians. Potentially going to see an early barrage here to wipe them as they rotate, and that'll be a pretty clean one ultimate used fight win for Sky Guardians.
We now see Appa. Yep, Appa's back on the Junkrat. Impulse is now on the McCree. So those DPS walls once again reset. The window comes out from Chaplin, however. You do see Appa trying to get in the backline. He's able to pick off Milo. That Junkrat expertise working into his favor, as now we see Squall starting to take the advantage. It looks like they're going to be able to get their first tick, and they will. The Flux comes out from Lovebury, however, and the barrage comes out from Ooh. It's able to get Witchery. C-Town dies at the end of the damage, and Appa dies as well. Ooh making his presence known here on this Pharah, as it looks like you're going to be seeing Sky Guardians hold, albeit with 1 tick sacrificed.
They did use a little bit more ults than I would have liked. You could have caught Squall on the rotation rather than when they got to point. But the Bongo Bob could be enough to clean this fight up anyways. We'll see what El Toasty with the Flux can get done, because I think it's going to be hard for C-Town to find a shatter here.
Appa playing Mystery Heroes now on the Echo. It's very interesting to see that right now as 5 seconds on the clock. Squall's going to be able to touch, but the drum comes out from Pacey. Empress is able to touch it. That's a huge Flux coming out from El Toasty. It gets 3 in it, but no kills resulting in it. C-Town dies, but also Milo is able to fall at the hands of Chaplin. It looks like Squall is trying to push into this point and trying to get as much damage as possible, but Ooh is there on the side angle. Witchery ends up dying. That's your main support. That's one of your main supports down. Ooh is trying to get pressured out here by Appa, but Ooh is already killed off Impulse. That's one of the big counters to Ooh here. Dead. Appa doing as much damage as he can, but Ooh is better. And just like that, Squall, they had an opportunity. They had many opportunities, and they had the picks, but it won't be enough. Ooh's fair is just too much, and Squad Guardians will hold 39.9% here. Take it for Squall.
It's just so tough to play against a Pharah comp without a Diva. I think that was the main thing. Like, they kept switching, but they never switched that off tank, and that's the switch that I would have liked to see come out to make this map a bit closer.
Yep, the
That being said, they could still full hold, because I think they're going for the same Pharah strategy.
The full hold is definitely helpful, and it really would have been helpful to see those switches come less often there for the side of Squall. They were swapping pretty much every time they lost a fight. One character would be swapped, and it really got too much to a point where they were literally going into fights with 0 ults, even after 3 minutes of play. So it's definitely rough here for Squall, as it looks like they're not going to be opting for the Pharah strat. They're going to be opting for the Junkrat. Again, Appa, a Junkrat mastermind, definitely can make stuff work on that Junkrat that you wouldn't expect from anybody else, so we'll have to see if it makes an impact air. Empress on the Soldier, they're learning from their original method. They want to try to keep this Soldier on. We'll have to see if it makes any impact. As you see on the side of Sky Guardians, Ooh is already on that Pharah. We'll see if he brings it out again.
Yeah, Junkrat is also fairly viable as an anti-Symmetra strat, but at the moment, Sky Guardians are not showing a Symmetra. And it might be a situation with the food chain again. Pharah eats Junkrat, so...
Yeah, definitely interesting to not see a Symmetra strat, even with this Orisa Sigma. But Sky Guardians are going to be coming out here with this Ashe Pharah composition that they ran on the defense. The exact same comp at that. So we'll have to see if it makes any sort of impact here, and if they're going to be able to push into this choke without getting pestered here by Appa's balls. so we're gonna have to see what they're able to do as the mines start hitting here for Appa. No damage thus far taken. Ooh is only able to get 8% here on his ult, so I have to see if it gets any sort of value. And there's what I was talking about. Appa able to put those mines through the hole and that little window. Definitely huge, but Ooh is able to do better. Able to eliminate the main heals for Squall, and Witchery misses the res. Ooh able to eliminate her as well. Ooh is making an absolute salad out of Squall right now. And just like that, within the first minute, Sky Guardians have established their presence on this point. The first tick taken and a little bit extra. Sky Guardians go 2-0 in the series.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say? It's a bit of a Pharah meta, and they're definitely guarding the sky with who's Pharah right now. That's a tough comp to counter at the moment if you're not feeling comfortable in the mirror matchup.
Yep, I can confirm from all my comp games. Pharaoh wins you games, and right now Ooh is winning the games here for Sky Guardians. Squall just look like they're really having trouble adapting to this, but they do look like they still have some potential. It may just be because it was control, but regardless, they look like they still have a chance. It's just they need to get their stuff together here as they head into halftime, and if they're going to be able to get that together, I think they still have a chance to be able to take at least one map off the Sky Guardians.
Yeah, there are definitely some maps in our pool where Pharah is a little bit weaker, so just reset the mental heading into halftime and try to pick one of these maps that plays better towards like rush compositions where the Pharah might be weaker, something like King's Row, for example. A very popular map choice could be beneficial for the Squall.
Absolutely. When we come back, we're going to be seeing if Squall can come back after an 0-2 deficit, or if the Sky Guardians are going to be taking control of the skies once more.
changing in time? Did I fall in love? Did I make it up inside my mind?
Welcome back to the Overwatch Tranquility Season 7 regular season coverage. If you missed the match so far, you've missed a pretty good airborne battle between Sky Guardians and Squall. Currently at the half, Sky Guardians is leading 2-0 as we head into our third map. Squall's map choice for map 3, which is our hybrid map, is King's Row. So definitely an interesting map choice, and we'll have to see how it comes into play. We do see Kaz coming back in for Impers, though, so what does this tell you?
Not really sure that this tells us much. I think Squall just kind of has a planned rotation. It's not really map to map. I do think Kaz plays a little bit of May, if I'm remembering correctly. So maybe we'd see something like a May Junkrat comp. That could be risky, just because Pharah has been so dominant. But I do think that May would be a strong pick for them. I'd like to see them just go Lucio and just try to bum rush Sky Guardians before the Pharah can really get set up and start chipping in some damage. Just go as fast as possible with a May and a Lucio.
Yeah, really, and ignoring a Pharah is probably the best bet here for Squall, and we're gonna see if they're able to ignore that Pharah presence from Ooh, because Ooh has been destroying this team whenever he's on that Pharah, which is pretty. It was only on Hanamura, but still, there was a huge dominance there from Sky Guardians. Squall had no option rather to just die really before they got to the point. So we'll have to see what the move is here from Squall as they're going to be heading into King's Row. It's definitely interesting to have Kaz and Appa here. When we saw Kaz on that first attack, he mainly was known for his Reaper play. He was known for Tracer. He played a little bit of Soldier, I think, but regardless, he was really not really the hit scan specialist. So this tells me maybe Squall want to go for a more close approach. They don't want to go for that farther more approach. They want to be up close and personal here with Sky Guardians. Go straight to the tanks and supports, destroy them before the DPS destroyed them.
Yeah, I believe Kaz does play Reaper, so I think he's kind of their full flex. Not really their hit scan or their barrage, he's just kind of the mixed flex player. So something like a McCree Junkrat, a May Junkrat, or a McCree May would be a good composition I'd like to see.
Yep, so speaking of that, we do see coming out of a spawn room right now for the Sky Guardians. Pasty, Bubble White, they're going to be coming out in this Rhine Diva, and they're sticking with the Kree May. No more Pharah here for the side of Sky Guardians, but this could just be because they're on the defense. They're running the Kree May just for the defense here. On the side of Squall, I really hope they're memeing with the tank line there, because the last thing I want to see is Wrecking Ball and Roadhog out on the field, because that can be either chaotic or an absolute disaster for Squall, so we'll have to see if they're going to change that up. Kaz choosing the Sombra here. Do they go for the Scout strat again?
I've learned to not trust whatever Squall has in the spawn room. There they go.
Yep.
They don't have a Mercy again.
Yeah, looks like they're actually going to be sticking
There we
with
go.
the Sombra here. They're going to be running... Nope, they're going to be running the Reaper. So it looks like they're running a sort of style of the six-man dive, except with a Pharah, a Mercy, and a Zarya here for El Toasty. So I have to see if it's able to work here for the side of Squall as Sky Guardians putting themselves here on this point. Appa really needs to be careful, however. Milo on this McCree can shut him down in an instant. The dive comes in from C-Town, and Appa gets the first kill on Milo. As I was talking about Milo shutting down Appa, he does the exact opposite. Now you do see Appa pumping in rockets into the backline here for Sky Guardians as Squall started to put some dominance on the point. Kaz, however, is able to die to the hands of Ooh on that May, and now the disadvantage is here for Squall. Sky Guardians have been able to stabilize and have gotten 2 picks. Now Appa trying to get as much damage as possible, but an anti on the pass on the Pacey is going to make it a little bit harder for him to stabilize. Looks like, however, Sky Guardians will stabilize, and it's going to be a retreat here for Squall.
Yeah, the Squall comp is a little bit similar to what they played on Oasis University, which was their closest round so far. They switched the Moira to an Ana and a Diva to a Zarya. I like the flex support change, but I'm not feeling this off-tank change.
Yeah, Zarya's really a hero that you really want to get as much damage as possible and get close in. My guess is that they have the Zarya so they can use the double bubble strat, but it's not working right now. They need to try and find a way to make this Zarya get value. C-Town, however, is in the backline for Sky Guardians, and Squall starting to get advantage here on the point. But you do see that they're trying to get as much damage as possible, and Kaz dead again, but Appa in the backline able to get Dire Raven and Milo. A huge pick there from the Pharah as the freeze going out onto C-Town. Not the kill, however, as you do see C-Town using that Primal Rage. El Toasty gets the kill onto Pasty, and just like that, Squall look like they're going to be able to assert dominance here on this first point to be able to take the cap. Athena stalls it out for a little bit longer on that Lucio, but you will see Squall take the first point.
So yeah, Sky Guardians have been doing a good job of disengaging this initial Winston dive. The bubble comes in, everybody backs up, they wait out both of the bubbles, and then they go punish the Winston. However, this time Squall sent the pharmacy around the back with barrage, so as Sky Guardians disengaged, they were walking into a barrage. Excellent play from Appa.
If we do see Squall keep doing this, there is a chance that they might be able to full cap this. Have the Winston go in the front line, have Apple or Kaz go into the back line, and get as much damage as possible. The window, however, almost leaves Kaz out to die. Dire Ravens with a great window, and Pasty with that fire strike able to eliminate Chaplain. Now Witchery and Kaz die, and Squall once again retreating, only 21 meters gained here. But Appa does find the pick onto Bubba Wide, who still had not had that deep remake since the start of the match. But the cart might be able to move a little bit just without the Diva here for Sky Guardians.
This could be a tough choke to break. The Pharah can really only flank through that one window, and as long as the McCree's keeping an eye on it, the McCree and Diva can watch this window.
D-Town's separated.
Could be a tough choke.
Oh, and a massive shatter coming out from Pasty. It gets 4 on the ground, including the Winston of C-Town. He's able to eliminate Kaz, but Appa bringing it back. 3 kills there for the Pharah, almost 4, almost on the May. And Squall bring it back from a situation that was almost lost with a shatter at the start. And now they're pushing the cart once again. 3 minutes on the clock to try and get to point B.
Yeah, I like the way that Sky Guardians adjusted. They were saying, well, our disengage isn't working. We're going to take the fight to you. But this time, you know, the same thing happened. They took the fight to them. This time they ran past the Pharah. And again, the Pharah was shooting them in the back. So I like the aggression. Take the fight to them. Just have your Diva keep the Pharah in check while you do so.
The Nano comes out onto C-Town, and C-Town makes the dive into the enemy team. The grab comes out, and the only person caught in that is Pacey. The beat is invested from Athena, as now that's 2 ults expended on either side. But now you do see Squall trying to take the aggression here, but the Blizzard comes out from Ooh, and it gets almost everybody on the field. The Death Blossom comes out from Kaz. It does get both supports, however. No supports here on the side of Sky Guardians. It's still winnable, unless Milo is able to pick off his Pharaoh, which he's unable to right now. Appa is dodging bullets left and right. It's almost like the Matrix in here, as Appa, being able to dodge that much bullets, will get the kill on a Milo, and Squall still with the advantage in this fight. All that's left is Bubba Wyatt once again on the Diva. That seems to be a common theme here for Bubba Wyatt's Diva, but regardless, he will eventually get demech'd. Athena comes back on the Lucio, though. Looks like Sky Guardians want to try and stall this, but that's a big anti-nade coming out from Chaplain. Gets 2, Bubba Wyatt and Athena. A Dire Raven once again falls, and it looks like you're going to be seeing Squall take this point with 1 minute and 50 seconds remaining in the clock. That means they're getting an extension all the way to 3 minutes again.
Yep, that's correct. And Sky Guardians have switched. Ooh, oh, there he goes.
Yep, Ooh has switched over to the Hanzo and already making his presence known, killing Appa with a headshot arrow nonetheless. Great shot there from Ooh. And now, you already see Squall disengaging. They are showing that this Pharah is their main goal. But now you have Ooh on his signature hero. This is going to be hard here for Squall, as now the window comes out from Dire Raven. C-Town pushes right through it, and Athena dies to El Toasty. A huge play there from Squall just to push past the window. The window has no value if you push past it. The barrage comes back out from Appa. Is unable to get anything except all of Bubba Wyatt's defense matrix. Wyatt very low there in the back line, but no pressure coming out from Squall, and now they're paying the price. C-Town and Appa have now fallen, and now it looks like Squall is going to be retreating once again. Sky Guardians get the defense, despite Ooh falling at the end. Is Kaz looking for a flanking Death Blossom or a flanking kill here?
He's either flanking or stuck. I'm not quite sure what it is.
Most likely he wants to try and
Now he's
teleport to the high
committing to
ground and
it.
get the drop out. We'll see
Yeah.
what happens here.
He doesn't have ult.
Kaz, hopefully nobody from the Sky Guardians noticed. Athena almost might have saw Kaz there. But it looks like he's just waiting for an opportunity. Yep, he's gonna start making the advance here on a Dire Raven. Dire Raven's now caught in a little bit of a hole, but regardless, he's able to use that. Kaz gets killed by Milo. Milo uses the flashbang to eliminate them, and now Milo gets 2 onto Appa and Witchery. Just like that, Sky Guardians take advantage of a situation that looked like it was gonna be a huge flank from Kaz, and now Squall retreating again.
Yeah, we've seen Squall make this comp switch. They're over on the Rhine. They still have this Mercy. Now they're over onto the Junkrat. Hopefully the Mercy uses their ult and switches to Lucio here, because it's tough to run Rhine without Lucio. I think they can engage with the Valk. It'll build this grab Death Blossom. Let's see if that can get any value, or if Bubba Wyatt can put the Cone of Silence over him again.
Here comes the jump from Appa, trying to get Bubba Wyatt on the high ground. The grab comes out from El Toasty, and Pasty dies in the hands of the Appa. Eltosi, however, dies to the hands of Milo. This McCree still being able to pay dividends. Witchery does activate the Valkyrie, and Seatown gets booped up by Athena. Appa's able to get the kill on a Milo, however, but it looks like Squall is once again going to be retreating after too many picks go in the favor of Sky Guardians. 1 minute here on the clock for Squall to try and push this to the end of point B, and we do see Witchery switching over to that Lucio.
Yeah, they are still on the Zarya though, so they need to make these fights last a little bit longer so that the Zarya can ramp up and the Junkrat can get some value.
Seatown looking for the shatter now. You do see Pacey is right there in front of him. You do see Squall. They look like they're trying to retreat a little bit. They're looking for the perfect opportunity to try and push in. Meanwhile, Sky Guardians pelting out all the damage they can. Here comes the push now. Seatown pushed out the shield. The shatter misses. A huge block from Pacey, able to keep that away from harm's way. The shatter comes out from Pacey. He's not able to get anything, but the blossom from Kaz goes straight to the backboard. Is able to get Dire Raven. Appa, however, kills 2, and Bubba Wyatt gets a 3K bomb to turn it around. Bubba Wyatt with a huge bomb. Looks like he's going to be able to turn it around. It's only
1v1.
It's Chaplin versus Ooh. The window comes out from Chaplin as Ooh is literally only 1 health on that Hanzo. It is literally a 1v1 situation as Chaplin trying to jump in every single which way. Eltosi is back on the ball now, as looks like it's going to be winnable here for Squall, but Kaz dies. Ooh is able to fall to the hands of Appa, however. It's still winnable here for Squall. The immortality field comes out from the side of Squall, as now Athena dies to the hands of Appa. This Junkrat being able to work wonders, but Milo with the flash ban is able to eliminate the Junkrat. Now it looks like Squall might not be able to stabilize on the Dire Raven dies. Raven now getting pressured out here by the ball of Eltosi. You do see Squall still have some dominance at the point as Seatown is able to eliminate Pasty, and Witchery is able to get Milo. Still winnable. Witchery actually gets 2. She gets Milo and Dire Raven now on that Lucio. Seatown now trying to swing the hammer and get any sort of sense with the Doomfist knocking him back. As you do see now, Squall are trying to push this card forward in overtime, trying to get to the end of the point.
Yeah, this is an excellent stall from Sky Guardians. They're already back, they're full ready, and they're ready to re-engage here. Nobody really has an ult other than this beat and the shatter from Seatown.
Beat and Shatter are here. Also, the window from Chaplin is going to be able to get built up. The Doofus goes in the back line. Here's the Deadeye coming out from Milo. Gets absolutely nothing. Witchery invests the beat. The immortality field is used, but that's a big Shatter. It only got Dire Raven, but that was the main support for the side of Squall. The Shatter comes out from Pasty, but is not able to get enough follow-up. Ooh, however, is in the back line. This is still winnable here for the Sky Guardians, as Ooh is the only one left. Bubba Wyatt is there on the Baby Diva. Kaz is there on the Tracer. Bubba Wyatt needs to be killed with Baby Diva before he remexes. He's able to get killed. Milo is now the only one at the point. Now with Dire Raven on that Mira. The ball coming out here from Pasty as the mines are dropped by Eltosi. Squall are still pushing this point. It looks like they're going to be able to finish this in overtime unless Athena is able to move someone off the point. Eltosi extremely low, uses the shields and is able to keep himself alive, as now Sky Guardians, they're staggering onto the point. They're trying to keep the overtime ticking, but Squall, they're trying as best as they can to be able to try and push this point. The bomb comes out from Bubba Wyatt. Will be able to be a big kill again. Oh, Bubba Wyatt again gets 2. Appa and Eltosi fall. The Shatter gets nothing from Seatown. Kaz is able to eliminate Athena, however. Kaz now gets 2 onto Pasty. It looks still winnable here for the side of Squall, but Ooh with the double meteor strike finishes off the fight. 67.76 meters here for Squall as Sky Guardians hold. I need a break.
Yeah, I'm not sure who that was. Either Athena or Pasty got the boop. Get that shield a little bit out of the way and gave Bubba Wyatt 2 kills with that bomb there. Sky Guardians were able to make that fight long enough to when they got ults. The cleanup from Squall was a little tough, but this was still a really close map. I think when things get chaotic, Squall has shown that they can close out these fights. So I'd like them to, run a little bit more chaos here on this defense even. Keep the Lucio in, just get fast and in their face, create these chaotic trade heavy fights and see if they can clean them up in the end.
Now we do see Squall coming out here on the defense. They look like they're going to be using the Hanzo Pharah here for the defense, but they are sticking with this Orisa Sigma composition. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That Pharah did a lot of value there for Squall's attack. They were able to make use of every single angle, but will it work on the defense?
I think poke is good in theory, but on King's Row, it can be tough. You can get out-rotated or have the point forced on you very easily, and there's not really anywhere to kite very well. You can, of course, kite back through second point, but you're giving up so much map advantage, and Orisa really wants that map advantage. And they're opting not even to start on high ground, but on the point right away. That's
you're
an interesting choice.
Yep. If you're Appa right now, you want to try to focus the support line. Brig Anna is probably the most vulnerable support line to flanking damage, especially if it's high damage from a Pharah. So we'll see if Squall are able to make use of that and able to push in here. Ooh, on this Hanzo again. We saw how well his headshots were when he first switched onto the Hanzo on that defense. Pacey's able to try and roll in on this ball, but is unable to get any sort of massive damage. Milo put very low, but Ooh is able to kill Appa with the scouting arrow and is able to get Chaplin as well. Appa is brought back into the fight, but that's still one healer down for the side of Squall, as now Sky Guardians start to clean up the fight. Appa sent back to spawn, and Athena gets 2 with the Brigitte. And now we do see Sky Guardians taking this point with only 3 minutes in the clock taken.
Yeah, it can be so hard to keep map positioning on King's Row first, especially against the ball comp that Sky Guardians have shown that they've run. Unfortunately, they all got backed up into that little room, couldn't contest the point anymore, and the Hanzo just took 3 pot shots.
Pacey looking for this sort of engage into the back line. He's going to start moving in now. The supports are in the line of sight, but he does not get any sort of big damage there. Just rolling in, seeing if he can get any sort of pickups out. Oh, but Appa, he switched over to the Junkrat, is able to eliminate Milo point blank. A huge concussive mine there from Appa, as now we do see that Sky Guardians, they're looking for a different sort of approach here. They are still pushing this card, however, and there's little to no contest here from Squall. Appa knows that Pacey's in the backline, however. He's trying to do as much damage as possible onto that Wrecking Ball, keep him out of sight. As the Dragon came out from Ooh, it was unable to get anything. It sent the Immortality Field out from the enemy side. The Pulse Bomb comes out, it gets absolutely nothing from Milo, but C-Town falling to half health there. It might have almost been disastrous there. Pacey coming in on the ball as it's a Nano Boost onto the Wrecking Ball. You don't see that every time. The Dragon Strike comes out from Kaz, also unable to get any sort of kills, but Appa's still pumping in the damage here. And really, it's just a back and forth engage, but Sky Guardians are still pushing.
Yeah, I mean, the Chaos is working towards Squall's favor right here. But they did give up a lot of map push. That was, you know, they turned 2 corners before the fight was really even taken. And so Sky Guardians, although they lost the fight, got a pretty hefty amount of payload progress. I don't think they should be too upset with that. What I'd like to see is that Appa is being very effective as an anti-flanker Junkrat. He's got all these different flank positions pressured out with his concussive mines and his traps. I'd like to see Pacey and Milo get a little bit more creative on these paths that they're taking to avoid Appa here.
We'll see if Appa is able to shut down any of these dives, as Sky Guardians look like they're going to go to the advantage, but Chaplin already picks off Ooh on that Hanzo. The tire comes out from Appa. It does get 2 against both supports on the side of Sky Guardians. Guardians now at the disadvantage, and they are sent retreating. Bubba Wyatt at half health. Pacey also at half health, but Milo looking for the flank does eliminate that steel trap, and Sky Guardians are sent back to the drawing board.
Yeah. That was a really good Junkrat tire, really good early pick from Chaplin. Ooh switching over to the Pharah now. They're switching over to a Pharmacy comp, which is pretty good against the Orisa Sig as well.
Yeah, this
See
does
how
make
much angles they can get.
This does make Dire Raven a little more vulnerable in that Ana, but at the same time, you now have the counter to Appa's Junkrat. So we'll see if Sky Guardians are able to take advantage of it. The shield already broken from C-Town as Ooh trying to pump in the damage. Here comes the Flux coming out from El Tosi. It does get some, but it's unable to get any sort of big kills. Bubble Wyatt's bomb only gets an Immortality Field as Ooh is now in the backline on that Pharah, doing as much damage as possible, trying to eliminate any sort of picks with that Nano Boost, but the Nano Boost is unable to get any sort of kills. Sky Guardians, they look like they're still going to be able to push this point as C-Town falls very low. Will they be able to finish him off? No, it looks like the Guardians are not going to be able to finish him, but Milo gets both DPS with 1 single Pulse Bomb. Kaz is able to kill Bubble Wyatt, however, and it's still winnable here for Squall. They're bringing the kill back in their favor, but Ooh gets both supports, and just like that, Squall falter, and Sky Guardians will be able to push this into point 2 with 2 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock. That will now extend to 3 minutes and 40 seconds.
Yeah, they looked like they were turning the fight, but they had no ults, no abilities, no health pools, and the Pharmacy just ended up overwhelming them. They're sticking to the same comp for this 3rd point defense here. Looking to see Ooh get a big barrage, perhaps flanking under the 3rd point, fly up and around. Basically going for a pile drive here.
The mines in the pile drive coming out for Patience. There's the barrage from Ooh. The immortality field was used, but Chaplin ends up dying, but Ooh dies to the hands of Appa on the Junkrat. This is really opposite day coming out here. But despite that, Sky Guardians, they have advantage of this fight. Milo's Tracer is ripping them apart, and it looks like the Sky Guardians are not going to be able to say, are not taking no for an answer. You will be seeing the Chaplin come back on this Baptiste, trying to contest, but the anti-nade is huge, and Milo is able to pick off Chaplin. Now it's a last fight contest here. Sky Guardians right at the edge. Milo gets the pulse bomb onto Seatown, and now it's looking winnable here. But the Tire is able to get Dire Raven, and Ooh, despite that, Raven gets res. Sky Guardians still have both of their supports. It wasn't enough from Appa's Tire, and now Squall trying to do everything they can to try and stall this out, but it looks inevitable here for Sky Guardians to be able to cap this point unless some miracle happens right now. Seatown is able to eliminate Athena, however, that's the main Mercy down. Will Dire Raven get eliminated sooner or later, or will they not? Milo with 9 health is able to eliminate Chaplin with a melee kill, and now Sky Guardians, they're trying to finish off the kills. Appa's there on the card. He dies to Bubble Wyatt's bomb, but now Appa is able to kill Bubble Wyatt with the total mayhem. Now it's only Witchery on the point, but it's not enough. The beat doesn't come out in time, and Sky Guardians take the 3-0.
All they needed was the Tracer to clean up that fight. Earlier at the very beginning of that fight, you know, Ooh with the barrage, he did die, but he did his job, right? But Pharah, it's so hard to live while you're using that Pharah barrage, and but he got a lot of cooldowns out, a lot of attention, and a couple kills, and the Tracer ball were able to clean up behind that.
And here's that bomb from Bubble Wyatt that pretty much turned the fight in the favor of the Sky Guardians. He does die in the end, but still a huge bomb, and really a good performance from Sky Guardians, being able to hold off these sort of defenses as they were doing it. So really, there is a potential here for Sky Guardians to 4-0, but I would not count out Squall yet. They do get the 4th map pick, so we'll see what they end up choosing here.
Yeah, this map pool now, Havana, Dorado, and Watchpoint Gibraltar. These are all pretty viable dive maps. Perhaps that they've been showing so much double shield. They will go for like the Watchpoint Gibraltar, where you kind of set up with double shield on defense. But they haven't been showing too much ball to run on their attack. I think this is going to be a tough pick. Oh, they've already selected Havana.
Yep, Havana is more of a double shield map, I would say, than Gibraltar. Gibraltar is more of a dive map. This one is more of a double shield map. If you want to play double shield, you go to Havana. So we'll see if Squall is able to make use of his double shield, or if Sky Guardians is going to be able to take advantage of it again. If Sky Guardians keeps running Ooh on this Pharah, then I think it's going to be pretty easy here for Guardians to take the 4-0 victory over Squall. But Squall is still putting up a fight, surprisingly, over the Guardians. We did not expect that to happen thus far. We thought that Guardians would take a sweep, but Squall has been able to put up some sort of fight, and they have the potential here to take the map.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, when they can turn these fights chaotic, where they're trading picks back and forth, they seem to at least, you know, either go long or go in Squall's favor. So just going for a little bit more of that chaos. I mean, that's what Junkrat does, right? He's one of the most, at least lore-wise, very chaotic character.
Yeah,
we'll have to see what Appa wants to play here.
Yeah, Junkrat is definitely a chaotic character. We do have swaps coming in from both sides. Impulse is coming back in on the side of Squall, and Lovebury is subbing in here for Dire Raven on the main support. So we talked about earlier how Lovebury is an off-tank and main support flex. This is it. Now we're going to see Lovebury here on the main support role here for Havana, as now we do see the comps coming out here. Looks like Sky Guardians, they are going for that double shield defense. The Arista Sigma with the Ashe Hanzo. They're keeping going on Hanzo, but Milo on the Ashe instead of McCree, and the Mercy Baptiste. So we'll see if it's able to make any sort of advantage. Do we see Squall run out on this comp they have in spawn right now?
I'm not sure. Maybe they're expecting a spawn hold, as that's one of the a very popular defensive strategy. So it can be very tough to tell what attacking teams want to run, because either they have to switch to break the spawn hold, or they roll out on something expecting a spawn hold. Not to mention Squall just likes to mess around and spawn.
So now we do see Squall coming out on this composition. Altosi on the Winston instead of a wrecking ball. And that rock from Bubba Wyatt. Appa tries to take a little peek, and Bubba just slams his face with a rock. That is not how you want to peek on the walls. As now we do see that Squall, they're starting to push this card, but El Toasty gets halted, rocked, and burnt to the ground by Ooh's arrows. As now already Squall are down their main tank. This card is going to get a lot harder to push as the time goes on.
And it is awkward because they can't really fight until the cart gets around this corner. But hopefully they can get it there, have the D.Va push it, and then we'll see a clean engage come in. They need to make sure they're not taking too much poke on their way in.
Speaking of poke, Appa getting a lot of poke here from the Orisa of Pacey. Pacey just taking a 1v1 with Appa, telling him this is his game. As now the dive comes in from Altosi, but C-Town doesn't have a mech. There's no D.Va support as Witchery now dies to the hands of Pacey, and now it's all going in favor here of the Sky Guardians. This double shield defense working in their favor as you do see C-Town trying to escape with his mech. Looks like he might just barely be able to. And it looks like Squall are going to be going back to the drawing board.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to get down this open road without taking too much poke. Maybe they could come in from the left side and just try to wrap around up to that high ground here.
The Nano comes out onto Altosi as he starts diving up to the high ground. You do see him going onto the Hanzo. Going for that backline, actually. He's onto the Baptiste of Lovebri. We'll see if there's any sort of support as the Bob comes out from Milo. Altosi burnt down, and Impers also falls alongside him. Lovebri, however, falls, but Witchery dead to Milo's Bob. And Sky Guardians continue to hold this point. With Athena resing Lovebri, it's going to be only inevitable here for Sky Guardians to continue holding. C-Town dies late.
Yeah, using Bob to peel definitely isn't something you see too often down in Harmony tier. That was an excellent play from Milo. Appa switching over back to his signature Junkrat. Looks like they're going to try to break this shield as they push in. Try to equalize the poke war. I'm looking for a pull dragon here, though.
Yeah, absolutely. You do see you with this dragon, but he gets melted by Altosi and C-Town. A huge setup there from Squall as now the drum from Pacey is used. Ooh ends up getting res, however, and Impers dies to Milo's coach gun. So we'll see if there's any sort of response here. If a dragon comes out, but it's eaten! C-Town with a huge eat onto the dragon, but it might all be for naught. Lovebri, however, dies to Appa, but you do see Milo on this high ground, uncontested, raining in damage. However, his Mercy Pocket is down. Pacey has a dive, but Bubba Wyatt, we talked about him so much thus far. He gets a 2K with that flux and turns it around in the favor of Sky Guardians. They're still holding on to this point, and there's 1 minute on the clock here for Squall.
Yeah, when that fight looked scary, Bubba made a beeline to point. So while Squall looked like they were winning the fight, they were getting picks, they were not getting any cart progress. Bubba took a 1v1 with, I'm not sure who it was. One of the players of Squall on the point prevented them from pushing it. And Milo, uncontested on the high ground, cleaned up the fight from there.
It most likely was Impers because he was up there, but Witchery dies early. Appa dies right behind her, and now Squall, only 40 seconds on the clock. They use the Nano Boost. That's one of their biggest ults in the bank, and now it's out. Now you do see C-Town. He's going to get killed on the Siva, and most likely will get staggered here by the Sky Guardians, as now it's looking all but inevitable here. Does he get the kill on Ooh, barely not. Pacey's able to finish him off, but Athena, however, dies to the hands of Chaplin. The main Mercy player here for Sky Guardians is down. The Sky Guardians retreated. Do they continue holding this close?
They can back up, kite it out a little. They've afforded a bit of cart room, and I think the Mercy will be back pretty quickly. And they've also got the Bongo to slow this down.
Pacey now trying to push in. The bomb comes out from C-Town. Will be able to get any value. It gets Milo. It also gets the Immortality Field of Lovebri, as now there is someone down here. The tire comes out from Appa, and it gets Athena. Now there's only one support on the side of the Sky Guardians as Squall start to push forward. Appa gets the final kill on Lovebri as Pacey dies in the hand of Chaplin. And now Squall looks like they're going to be able to take the first point here on Havana with no time left in the bank. But regardless, that is the first point of Havana. That's one of the hardest points to get. Hopefully they can get a smooth sailing here into point 2.
Yeah, second point, it is a little bit easier to get in without taking as much poke, but also there's a lot more high ground for Sky Guardians to kind of spread themselves out around. So we'll have to see how this one plays out. Emperor switching over to the Reaper. I'm not really sure how I feel about this, because they want to kind of play up in your face, but they're not playing the Lucio Moira version.
But also, you have the 2 DPS on the side of Sky Guardians that are literally meant to counter people who want to play up in your face. These 2 DPS are ranged, so now Impers on this of Reaper, it's a very questionable choice, but hopefully it's going to play in his favor. Altosi tries to make the dive along with C-Town, and they're able to get Lovebri in the back. Lovebri dies to Appa's mine. Impers, however, dies to the hands of Ooh, and now Ooh gets them kill on the Witchery. Lovebre's back up, and Sky Guardians have turned the final round after losing their support first.
Yeah, this trend that I'm noticing is that Squall like to play some of these kind of hybrid comps instead of committing to one full style. You know, if they committed to a rush in your face style with the Lucio Moira, perhaps they would fare better. Or on the other hand, if they committed to, you know, DPS that don't need to get quite as close, or at least can do so safely, like a Tracer, and commit to a full dive comp. Instead, they're kind of stuck in this weird hybrid, and Sky Guardians are just playing a full poke comp. They know what they want to do. They're all in on it.
I don't know if everyone saw that, but Appa literally just jumped straight up to Ooh, met him face to face, and destroyed him with the mine. Ooh, however, does get res and gets the revenge kill onto Ooh with that onto Appa with that scouting arrow. Athena, of all people, gets the kill onto Impers, and now the res comes out back onto Appa. Squall are once again bringing this into a 5v5 situation, and Lovebreak dies. That's again the first player dead, and Athena gets killed by the tire from Appa. Squall trying to push this forward as the dragon comes out from Ooh. It will get Appa in the end of it, but that might be the only pick here. Ooh is able to get the D-Mech onto Seatown, but the cart is moving here for Squall. Seatown ends up dying at the hands of Ooh, but Squall's still pushing this cart. They might be able to cap point 2.
There is time for a recontest here from Sky Guardians. They can wait for these respawns and recontest from that top high ground here.
Impers has the death
Impers
blossom.
with the death blossom now.
Yep, he's gonna go straight to the back line. He's able to find Lovebreak. Lovebreak ends up dying, but Impers dies in the hands of Ooh. And now Witchery's dead at the hands of Ooh as well. Ooh trying to bring this back to the brink of the feet with Lovebreak dying first. Athena once again reses Lovebreak as Appa is able to get Ooh. And now Athena dies. Lovebreak gets remake killed by Seatown. And now Squall, they look like they're going to be able to cap point 2 here after a very messy defense. And it looks like, once again, they're going to do it in overtime unless Milo is there. Seatown and Milo are the only 2 people there. Now Milo with the Deadeye trying to kill Witchery and Impers here. Milo, 1 health, is able to get the kill into Impers. El Toasty is back, however. Athena and Pasty are there, and Lovebreak running back on that Baptiste. But right now, you do see Squall trying to take the fight here. Pasty, Ooh, they're all trying to run back as fast as they can and try to get as much damage as possible. Ooh, trying to pressure out Chaplin, and he's able to do so successfully. Now, all that's left is Witchery's Lucio here for the side of Squall. El Toasty's Primal Rage trying to get as much damage on the Lovebreak, and Apple once again gets the finishing kill. Milo back on the Doom. Biz is able to eliminate all the damage left from Squall, and now all that's left is this Diva of Seatown, and it looks like all for naught. Squall so close to taking the 3rd point. They won't be able to finish they won't be able to finish the 2nd point, and the Sky Guardians will hold.
Yeah, unfortunately, defense spawns just a little bit closer than the attacker spawns on 2nd point of Havana. Milo versus the world there. Pretty much 1v3, holding the high noon with a Reaper wraithing into his face. Absolutely no fear from Milo. I gotta respect that.
Milo does not fear anything here on the side of Sky Guardians, using that high noon in the middle of 3 people and pulling the trigger when he was literally 1 health left. Ballsy play there from Milo, but he's able to pull it off, and now Sky Guardians have a chance to 4-0 Squall here. Will they be able to do it, though? Let's see what they try to come out here on the attack. As I expected, double shield.
Yeah, I'm hoping that Squall is going for this spawn hold. I think that's one of the most, again, chaotic things that you can do, is be right up in their spawn, forcing them to fight right away. But we'll have to see if Sky Guardians can effectively scout this and switch. Already a pharmacy is a pretty good tactic against the spawn hold, especially against this May Junkrat variation. We'll have to see if they are forced to make any other changes, or if they're able to break this spawn hold without any hero switches and keep their ultimate economy.
It's going to be interesting to see the close hold here from Squall and see if it will succeed or fail as they come out now out to the spawn doors. Milo knows, the team knows that they're going to be holding this close hold. Facey's on the left side, and Bubble White tries to take the right side, but Ooh is now in the sky with Athena in tow. Now it looks like that you're going to see Sky Guardians try to pressure it out, but Athena gets killed by Seatown, though Diva able to pressure out that pharmacy comp just enough to be able to send them back to spawn. Lovebreak now is the only support remaining here on the side of Sky Guardians, but remember, the spawns are right there. They're going to be able to regroup here pretty quickly.
And Squall have already given up a bit of space. They're not right on the wall next to the door anymore. They backed up a bit, respecting this Pharah. Going to give the Orisa and the Sigma some room to work, some room to poke.
Pretty much, that's what they want to try to do. Ooh, but Chaplin using the Immortality Field that early is going to spell bad news. The window, however, comes out from the side of Squall. They're trying to pump as much healing and damage as possible, but Witchery dies first to Ooze Farah, and now Ooze Farah making a mockery. He's able to kill both supports. 3 kills now for Ooze Farah on this fight. Maybe able to get a 4th, but ends up getting the kill stolen from Lovebreak. And now Squall, they were able to hold 1 minute, but it's not going to be a successful full hold here on Havana. The Sky Guardians will just be able to push here.
Yeah, they scouted out that spawn hold. They brought out the pharmacy. I would have liked to see, you know, when you're up against this Orisa Sig and they both walk out one door, you just got to commit to one side, speed onto them, push them all the way back into spawn, stabilize from the Pharah, and then retake it. They're going to stick to the same comp, except they've switched over to Ana and Echo. The Ana is a particularly interesting pick, just because Baptiste has been very meta with Reinhardt for a long time now.
Speaking of Baptiste, Appa is able to eliminate the Baptiste on the side of Sky Guardians again. Lovely dies to the hands of Opera in that move. Empress, however, is able to get Pacey, and with the barrage is able to kill Chaplin. Now there's no supports left on the side of Squall, and Milo pulls out the attack visor. He gets 2, and that's the end of the fight.
Yeah, they're committing onto one player, like one core of the Sky Guardians, but they're not quite cleaning it up fast enough. They don't have like a freeze or a stun that a May or McCree offers, and so they're not able to clean up these fights very fast, and the Pharah and the Soldier are just doing work into their back ends.
Squall want to try to fight one more fight here, but Bubba White has this Graphitic Flux to shut down any single attempt. The bomb comes out from Seatown. It goes past the shield. The Immortality Field does block it, but Milo is able to kill Seatown before he gets back in the mech. And now there's a huge shatter coming out from South Toasty and a 3K tire from Appa to be able to finish him off. Now all that's left is this Pharmacy comp of Ooh, but Ooh might just be able to bring it back with Athena in tow. Ooh is now trying to eliminate as much as possible. Chaplin is now dead, and now here comes Seatown back into the fight. Ooh might try to respect the boundaries here, but might try to go a little bit aggressive here to try and finish this off. Purse is back on that Echo. Will it be enough to be able to end this? Milo is able to kill Purse as we have a pause, and that is a disconnect for Milo.
He just disconnect mid killing an Echo.
That
Appears so.
that is just, if that is like the most, if that is not the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen today, I don't know what is. But yeah, that is interesting that he gets the a headshot kill, and then ends up he gets the headshot kill, and then apparently his game crashed. So that headshot kill was the straw that broke the camel's back for Milo's game. That is just that is interesting. So he is back in the game now. So we're gonna be going. Yep, we're gonna be coming back in now. So now Milo is coming back from spawn, however. So now it's a disadvantage here for the side of the Sky Guardians. As now they look like they're gonna be trying to hold. They're going to try to retreat here. No, they're not. Bubba White invests the Flux. The beat comes out from Witchery to be able to counter that. But now that's one less on the side of the Squall. And there's the barrage from Ooh. It gets 2. Wyatt gets the finish off onto Op after he kills with Ooh. And now the Sky Guardians, Milo is back in the fight. And the Guardians have taken point 1.
Yeah, just again, a really good barrage from Ooh. It's I don't want to keep harping on, you know, we don't want to keep harping and singing the same player's phrases, but when he's going to make plays like that so consistently, it's hard not to. Sky Guardians have already pushed up pretty far, taking some pretty heavy map advantage on the high ground here. It's going to be tough for Squall to do anything. Oh, they get.
Oh no!
Well, at least she didn't get staggered. Like staggered harder than she already could have been.
This is just looking terrible here for Squall right now. 2 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. The card is already halfway to the final objective, that golden square of victory you see there, right by point 2 here on Havana. And they haven't even been able to get a fight off. The Nano comes out here onto El Tosi as they try to engage onto the Soldier of Milo, but Ooh is sitting on the right side here, uncontested. Regardless, however, it looks like they're going to be able to push in, but oh, barely! Ooh is able to body block there for Chaplin to be able to keep him alive, but regardless, Chaplin will die at the hands of Ooh, and now that's 2 down here for Squall. They might not be able to hold this. The Witchery dies at the hands of Pacey, and now it's all little bodies here for Squall. The Sky Guardians trying to finish this fight here and now. Impulse tries to get that emergency duplicate, but ends up dying in the hands of Ooh. We might see the late contest here come out from the side of the from Squall, but it might not be enough. Appa's on this Hanzo. The barrage comes out from Ooh and ends up murdering that Hanzo into the ground. Only a little bit farther to go here for the Sky Guardian. The tack visor comes out from Milo, and Chaplin dies again. Witchery's now dead. No supports are left on the side of Squall, and the storm has subsided. The Sky Guardians, they're able to push this through. The last kill into Seatown for Vidia, and just like that, the Guardians are the rulers of the sky, and the Squall has dissipated into absolute nothingness.
It is really tough to stall out a fight when you've got a bongo visor in your face. There is not much anything could have done. I think on that previous fight, you know, the fight that they had to win to save this map, not that stall fight. The nano on that Reinhardt just came out a little bit too early. He wasn't really able to swing onto anybody. It gave him the damage reduction he needed to get in there. But by the time he was in there, the nano had worn off. He wasn't doing as much damage.
Absolutely, and I think it really was a good showing here from Squall, but unfortunately they will be
course.
getting 4-0'd and will be dropping to 0-3, -12 map differential this season. But overall, it was a good showing here from this series, and honestly, Sky Guardians, they look like they're looking better after that first week loss to Chrysalis. So we'll see how the upswing is here. Now, if you were to give a player of the match, who would you give it to? Because honestly, there were a lot of good players in this match.
The easy answer is ooh, but I'm gonna give it to Milo, because the Pharah, it's easy for the Pharah to make space, but it is hard for the hit scan to come up and clean up. The way that the Tracer, him working with Pasty, cleaning up the space made by ooh, was just some excellent Tracer play. Really a joy to watch him do that. So he's definitely my player of the match. But no disrespect to, ooh or Bubba Wyatt, some of the other star players on this team.
Yeah, I was gonna give mine to Bubba Wyatt. It's the silent plays that count the most. And Bubba Wyatt, he was able to get big bombs. He was able to get that big flux on Havana, but he also had a lot of small plays. The role of a diva in this meta is ridiculously difficult, and Bubba Wyatt stepped up in every single way to protect his team and get the ball rolling. So great job by Bubba Wyatt. Great job by the Sky Guardians. They go to a 2-1 record here in stage 1. So we'll see if they're able to get any sort of momentum heading into stage 2 as the stage continues. Now, if you like Overwatch Tranquility content, don't go anywhere, because right after this, we will be showing the 3rd edition of Coach's Corner with Jungle God, sponsored by Pico. You do not want to miss it here on the Overwatch Tranquility channel. For everyone here in the booth, including Worst Cast, our amazing observer, Apathy in the Color Cast, and myself, HBL64 in the play-by-play, we thank you so much for watching, and we hope you have a great night.
Good night.